something else, but I have no evidence of that something else, so therefore I need to claim the opposite, but there is nothing, and I can't prove that evidence.
Right, so you're basically, like I said to you, you're making a claim without any evidence.
Yes, because if there was evidence, then I would believe in
So your claim is not logical, or intellectual, or rational, or reasonable.
The claim
it's emotional.
The claim cannot be based on anything because there is nothing that exists.
What do you mean?
The claim that I made, yeah, so I can't say...
So look, if you were to make a claim, what do they just say to you? You have to prove what you're saying. If you can't prove what you're saying, it's just your belief. And your belief is based on subjective, emotional reasons. Babies die, people get cancer, therefore there is no God. But it's not rational, it's not intellectual. Now, I was under the impression you atheists are rational, intellectual, logical, reasonable. Yeah, well, you're behaving something like him.
Well, I believe in scientific advancement. Science makes sense. Science works.
Alright, how do you understand science and its advancement and how it makes sense and what the method it is? I don't understand that. What do you mean? How does science make sense? Do you think science doesn't make sense to me as a Muslim?
So science, I'm sure you're aware of IVF.
IVF, and?
Yeah, is that a creation by Allah or by God, or
okay.
That's a scientific, rational decision.
What do you think IVF proves?
IVF is showing the human technique of creating the ability to...
And if you had no eggs, could you do IVF?
If you had
no eggs?
No.
Right. And if you had no sperm, could you do IVF?
No.
Right. So what's your point?
So
how does IVF prove anything?
Because it's a scientific advancement. I'm talking. This is one piece of evidence. This is one scientific advancement which shows the human ingenuity over the millennium. It's called.
Okay. So science then produced the egg from nothing. Produced a stem cell from nothing.
But what do you mean?
That would be scientific advancement.
Coincidence. So are you talking about millions of years ago?
No, I'm saying to you. See what you're doing. You're taking credit for something that already exists. You're taking an egg, you're taking sperm, and science has learned how to utilize this. Yeah. Right.
How to.
That's not taking credit.
No, science was taking credit. Science was taking credit. Right.
No, science was taking credit for recognising it, locating it, and then utilising it.
Do you think as a Muslim I don't believe in IVF?
I didn't say that.
No, you tried to use that against my religion.
I didn't use it against it. I used it as
All right.
a point.
How does IVF being able to take the egg and the sperm and artificially inseminate into a woman
I'm giving you
prove what doesn't exist?
I'm giving you one illustration of a scientific advancement.
I'll give you another. Nuclear weapons. What's your point?
Yeah, I'm talking about this is science.
So you're telling me science has learned how to create life, and science has learned how to obliterate life. What's your point?
What's your point?
My point is this: you keep saying science makes sense,
Yeah.
but in the discussion we're having, it doesn't make sense.
Your point doesn't mean anything.
The sun and
you're saying it doesn't make sense.
No.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is this. I said to you, we're talking about God. You made a claim God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You couldn't support it with any evidence.
But I'm giving the illustration of scientific advancement.
But scientific advancement has nothing to do.
Yeah, but why are you talking about nuclear weapons and nuclear destruction?
Because you're trying to say because man has advanced in IVF treatment.
And man has been able.
What does that prove?
But man has been able to find out the intricacies of nuclear.
What does the Quran say about this?
About nuclear technology.
About gaining knowledge.
I'm not sure. Tell me, enlighten me, please.
Right. Because do you think scientific? Who was the first scientist?
It may not necessarily be enlightened to know what.
Who was the first scientist? Who was the first scientist?
Well, what's the evidence?
The first scientist was a Muslim.
Alhamdulillah. Ibn Sina. The whole methodology you're talking about was invented by a Muslim.
Invented is a very terrible word. Invented. It wasn't invented. It was discovered.
Discovered by who? Discovered by who?
Not Allah. Allah did.
No. Who discovered it?
No, you can give him.
And was that person a Muslim or not?
A lot of early science was Islamic.
No. We're talking about the method he's employing.
That doesn't make
sense. You seem to have this.
Okay, so a woman. A human being. A human being. You're talking about scientific.
What those early Muslims
Here's the
human
thing.
beings?
The first scientist was a woman.
Invented
Okay.
science.
Is that what you're saying? The first scientist was a woman. You just said the first one was a. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't.
I'll tell you what it does do. See, you seem to have this idea that Islam and science are opposed to one another.
I didn't say that at all.
No, you're implying it.
No, I'm not finding it at all. I'm saying that science.
So you don't believe in Islam? No, this is what you say. You don't believe in science because Islam or religion.
Not just Islam.
Because of scientific advancement.
I just want to make it clear this is all religions, not just Islam.
Can't do that. Can't equate Islam with other religions. If you were speaking to a Hindu,
lots of religions say that.
you can challenge my worldview against what you believe. I'm a Muslim, so you have to go against what I believe.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's one particular. I'm not saying there's one particular religion that I disagree with. I'm saying this is
No. What I'm saying to you is this. If you make a claim, support your claim with evidence. You can't support your claim with evidence. They give you a reason.
That does sound very scientific.
Yes. Do I believe in science? It seems like I believe in science more than you do right now. Because I'm using the laws of logic and you're not.
I don't.
Yeah,
The fact that you believe in Islam shows that you don't use the power of logic.
Why does me believing in Islam prove that I don't believe in the power of logic? What is illogical within Islam?
I am going to, from this stage, not use the word proof. It's a dangerous word to use when discussing.
You just said
You can use his own word against him. He used the word evidence.
Okay.
yeah, produce your evidence.
No,
So-
no. You've got to show the evidence.
No, he just made a claim about my religion again. He's made two claims now. He made a claim God doesn't exist, which he couldn't support, and was an emotional, subjective, emotional statement.
Use your reasoning.
Which cannot be supported.
Use your reasoning.
So now, he's now made a counterclaim now that me believing as a Muslim in Islam is an illogical thing to do.
I just don't understand Islam because there's no evidence for it. It doesn't help me.
No evidence for Islam.
Well, it doesn't help me. There's no evidence that helps me.
How do you think Islam would help you?
Sorry?
How do you think Islam would or could help you?
Would or could help me?
Yeah. How could Islam help
I
you?
can't say a word.
Can Islam help you if you don't?
It can add to a whole panoply of spiritual positions that I sort of take note of and listen to, and it gives me a broader.
No, you're on a tangent. 1 second. Yeah. We can have a discussion later.
No, I'm quite happy sniping on yours. I don't want this guy sniping on mine.
He's a Sufi master.
He's a Sufi master, yeah.
We can snipe, but I won't respond. Right.
I've got to head off, but what we will agree is that we disagree.
What we will agree.
We disagree.
No. What we will agree is that you came to this park today, you shouted out an emotional, subjective, opinionated statement with no rational, logical reason behind it.
I'm not going to agree with that, okay?
Well, you don't have to agree with that.
No, I don't have
we know you deal with emotion.
I don't have to agree with anything.
I know, it hurts,
I
I know.
don't have to agree with anything.
I know, it hurts.
So what we will agree.
Because you thought you had the intellectual, reasonable, higher grounds, and you don't.
You can't talk about
No,
intellect when you talk about
intellectual's
religion.
not high.
You just can't.
Are you religious?
No, not
So I
at
can talk
all.
about you in the car.
Not at all.
Are you religious?
You can't talk about when we're discussing religion.
Can we discuss the laws of logic?
We discuss it. This is.
Do you accept the law of logic
This is
and the logical fallacy you
This is
employ?
you. We're talking about religion now, and in that you can't talk about.
You made a claim about it though. Stop making
What did
claims
you
you can't
shout out?
support.
The gentleman was saying about the Old Testament, New Testament, Jesus is this, Jesus is that. I said Jesus doesn't exist. The other gentleman was talking about Allah. I said Allah doesn't exist.
No, he said God doesn't exist, as if he knows God doesn't exist. So I asked him to explain his reasons for making this statement.
I should have shouted out. There's no evidence that God exists.
Good.
Then I would have. Then
Yeah,
I would
that
have been.
would've-
So I.
And I'll give you a problem with that as well. Because
No,
I'll tell you why it's the problem what you just said. Because you're a scientist, yeah? You follow science, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Can science be used to judge the existence or non-existence of God?
Well, science is a very
No, can it be
such a
used? Because
broad
here's the
thing.
problem you have with science. Its premise is there's no such thing as the supernatural and everything has a natural explanation. So how are you going to use that as a tool to measure the supernatural? You can't.
There's no talk to measure.
No, because its start point is this: there is nothing supernatural. The start point is everything is natural. So it's like me saying to you, "Here's a tape measure. Tell me how much I weigh."
I agree.
And then because you can't tell me how much I weigh, I'm saying, see, you can't do it. You show me how much you weigh. Tell me how much I weigh. But the tool you're using is incorrect. So you need to sit down, relax, before you come to the park, don't just blurt things out. Make sure you know what you're talking about, because there are people listening and they hear these emotional statements.
To be quite honest, he's blurted something out, and now
No, we'll give you round two, don't
but
worry.
now he's said that he should have said this.
I should have
And
just
what
said-
I agree.
I'll tell you what you should have said.
I agree with
I don't
his
believe God
correction.
exists. You can say that. And that would just mean you don't believe God exists because you have no reason or you've not been convinced. Yeah?
Haven't been lied to or propaganda hasn't been
Lied
fed.
to. Lied to in what sense?
I'm gonna
More
leave
claims?
you now. I'm gonna leave you now because
Alright.
we disagree.
Alright.
But it was nice talking to you. Okay?
Take care.
You take care. Thank you very much. Bye.
I'm standing here.
Come on.
No.
Hey, this is WWE, mate. I'm gone, mate.
Here I am. I'm going to have a film. It's going to be.
How can Islam not help you?
Sorry? How can Islam?
Oh yeah, that was your point. Come. You said to me,
I'm
all
standing
right,
here.
here's a claim you made. How has Islam helped me? Was that what you said?
The only time Islam has helped me, well, no, that's not fair. Islam helps me. There's a certain speaker that sometimes speaks. There's an American guy, and he's an Islamic preacher. He wears white, long beard, and I like listening to him. I talk to him. Sorry, what's his name?
I said, Alhamdulillah, praise be to God that you're listening.
No,
With an open mind and an open heart.
I listen to that man.
Alhamdulillah.
He talks to me, but I don't actually believe what he believes.
What do you believe?
I'm a militant agnostic.
What does that mean?
It means I don't know, and I'll go further. I know I don't know.
And what does that mean?
Well, listen to what I just
So if
said.
you don't know, do you concede? Then if you don't know something and someone else has an opinion on the same subject, you are in no authority
No,
to
I'm
say they're
listening.
wrong.
No, I'm listening. I'm always listening. How can I not listen? I'm a militant agnostic.
I didn't say that.
Sorry, what did you say?
That was ironic. You just said you're always listening. You didn't even listen to what I said. Yeah. Right.
As long as you acknowledge
try again?
mine. As long as you acknowledge mine.
What should I acknowledge?
I said, as long as you acknowledge when I'm right, I will acknowledge when you're right. That was an example of me acknowledging you when you were clever and right.
It doesn't have to be clever. Just be a standard, innit? You know what I mean? If we're going to be doing
Yeah,
this, we need
you
to be
made
honest.
that lot laugh. That's clever between me and you.
Because it's a
Oh, go on, go back.
Alright. So basically, what I was saying.
I'm an agnostic.
Right. So you don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know what?
Well, I don't know. A lot of things I thought I did know.
What don't you know?
Well, what I don't know. Well, I know. I don't know. That's my position.
You don't know what you don't know.
How can I possibly?
How do you know what you know?
How can I possibly not know what I don't know?
So what do you know?
Sorry? I know that I get a lot of peace from my beliefs.
What's your belief? Believing in
I told
nothing.
you I'm an agnostic.
So basically, you don't know.
I get peace and calm.
What's going to happen when you die?
Sorry?
What's going to happen when you die?
That's the next bit.
You don't know. You don't know. So does that not concern you?
All I know is that we are made up of very minute and complicated electrical charges, right? Which are humming through everybody and everything in this room here now. And when I die, there will be no time.
Whoa. You said you don't know.
Sorry?
You said you don't know.
I'm assuming.
Oh, no.
I've learned.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Well, I just told you one thing that you agreed with.
What was that?
That we are made up of lots of very complex electrical charges.
Yeah, and the
Do you
sky is
agree
blue
with
and the
that?
trees are green. Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
do you agree with that?
Yeah. Any more obvious
And
statements you want to make?
Sorry?
Any more obvious statements you
No,
want
it's
to
a
make?
great obvious statement to make because a lot of people here don't even know that that's the case.
What?
And a lot of other people know don't even believe that that's
All right,
the
so
case.
what you're saying-
So it's worth saying it and it's worth them hearing you agree.
I'm pretty
all
sure-
right?
I'm pretty
Because
sure-
a lot of people don't realise
All right.
that there are a lot of humming, whirring, complicated electrical
pretty-
charges. They don't, a lot of people don't believe that, do you?
No. I'm pretty